All right, so, well, now we're going to go ahead and launch the attacks again and see how well we did, like we said. So to do that, we first have to turn on blocking. So I'm going to do that real quick and still apply the policy, but we'll do that kind of all one foul swoop here. So there we are, blocking, save, apply. And we're officially in blocking. Okay. So we'll come over here to our event logs. And stuff's going on. Go ahead and set this to a refresh. Every 30 seconds sounds great. And next, we'll go ahead and launch our attack here. Hmm. Oh, no, you're not getting very far, are you? And yes, it did identify that I am running an F5. You might have noticed at some points during some of our session here, we've had our cookie in our requests. Let's see if we can find you here. No, not in that one. There it is. So there's our TS cookie, and because it starts with TS, it's just kind of like an auto detect thing for systems like SQL map to go ahead and identify that, well, I was blocked and I see TS with this length of ID cookie. It's probably an F5 rule. So that's how I was able to make that guess and an accurate assumption, or guess if you want to call it that. And well, we're kind of not getting very far. Base comparison, so continue. We'll do no. And here we go. Do not appear to be injectable. Now, it is potential that we could go ahead and possibly increase this and maybe get something, but ideally not, given the fact of how much we've locked it down. Now, to kind of illustrate that, we'll go ahead and go through these. And for the matter, we'll go ahead and take out, we'll go after, good God, there's a lot of them. And so we can see, parameter, value, length, protocol compliance failures. That one's going to constantly pop up. And there we are. So under submit, it attempted to attack it, but because the expected value length is 16 and the set length we have it to control at is 16, and the actual value length ended up being 200. So it got blocked by simply that alone. Same thing with the meta characters. We can see that we captured by the parentheses. And kind of go through here. We got 3 on this one. So we got parentheses and we got the pipe. So similar attacks. And take note, no attack signatures because we do have those disabled. And same thing, length 237 in this case. So taken out by that. Choose another random example. And take note, we also see no greens because I do log all events, whether it's successful or not. So anything that would have succeeded, I would have actually logged here too, and we'd see a green item, as we've seen in other scenarios. But in this case, no, it's picking up pretty much everything. So we got our tick, we've got our parentheses again, and just kind of, randomly clicking through here. Everything is getting taken out like we'd hoped. We got 4 characters on this one. Parentheses, There's our colon. So you can see how effectively we've taken that out. Now, that was one of the SQL injection pages. So we'll go ahead and change up our thing here a little. And let's go ahead and confirm what the page is. Move back to SQL blind. And we'll change the URL in our request to this. Okay. And we'll go ahead and run that one too. Well, it's not doing so well. And no, don't want to reduce. Try as much as you can. And conclusion, all tested parameters do not appear to be injectable because it all failed. Because we are awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at those logs too. Just go ahead and refresh the page essentially. And we can see we're now on the blind page and nothing successful. Go ahead and go to the second page. See what we got there. All SQLi blind. And you can certainly see there's a lot of requests that are involved to make this all happen, or at least for the attempted to figure things out. But there's our separation point. And so here's the initial request that actually did succeed. As we said, green is 200, so meaning successful. You can see any of those anywhere else. So in other words, everything in between our test here and our test here did fail, minus this one. But let's go ahead and kind of take a look. There's not a single attack here. This is just the initial page request to make sure that the site is alive, likely. And then once it validates it's alive, then proceed. So in this case, what it did, and as said, it failed. So same thing that we saw in the previous situation. So we're not going to go through every one, but it's essentially trying the same exact attacks that it did in the other URL because the vulnerability remains the same. Just in the sense for the DVWA, they separated the two modules just for the sense of practicality because there are two different kind of contexts in how you could attack this one. So it's fair for them to create two different ones because, well, SQL injection is by far the most dangerous and the most advanced capabilities in which you can do when it comes to web attacks. So that pretty much proves that everything that we did is effectively mitigated, and again, with no attack signatures. So add those in, and we get even extra sauce on top of all that. But nonetheless, just this alone is good enough. So we've mitigated every potential 0-day for this parameter for the ID and the submit parameters by doing what we've done. So pretty cool stuff right there. Now, let's go ahead and see what we could figure out with our cross-site scripting.